Budget Bits.
3. Great clap, everybody.
Great clap.
Now we're in sync.
Total syncness.
Dirty
Sync
sync.
nasty.
It's dirty, girl.
It's a dirty girl. It's a flirty
Nasty.
girl.
You're a
Some
dirty
might say.
girl. You're a dirty
She a dirty girl.
Dark girl.
That lives rent free in my head. It
Yeah,
just
I know,
does,
that
dude.
one's
Dark
forever.
girl?
Bobby Lights.
Dark girl.
Bobby Lights gonna do you right.
If I hear anybody say you're dirty,
You-
I immediately go,
You
you're a dirty girl. You're a dirty girl.
Oh,
All right.
shoot.
That's our intro.
That's our intro.
So what have y'all been playing?
Good evening, all you dirty girls.
Good evening, you dirty girls.
This is going out to all the dirty girls out there.
Hey, yo, dirty girl.
Hey.
You know who you are. Bend over.
Wait a minute.
Touch toes. Wait. Sorry.
Shake it like a stone shaker.
alright.
Shake it.
Second. Like a Polaroid picture.
We're just
Come
throwing
on, now
out
shake it.
random
Shake
lyrics
it.
to songs.
Yeah. That's our intro now.
The sweat drop down his ball.
Alright, we gotta get all these out.
Yep.
Ski skeet.
Why are you doing like?
All right, I think I'm
R&B?
good.
Welcome back. That didn't feel like a. That was like a.
What?
That was like coming back from a break.
Welcome back.
Like, hey,
Hey.
welcome back.
Hey.
And these people were like, hey,
Hey.
welcome for the first time.
Yeah.
We're so excited.
We're here.
No, I like the welcome.
And it's-
Welcome back. Come sit by the fire.
Welcome back.
See,
Take a load off.
Welcome to the Budget Boys neighborhood.
I feel like we can actually say welcome back and mean it okay, just because it's not been 2 months since we recorded last.
Exactly. We're back in it. We're
Yeah,
welcomed
so
and
bad.
we're back.
This is it. We're doing it now.
We're doing
That's
it.
the intro.
Yeah.
David, do it.
That feels good.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Maybe take a second take on that one.
Welcome back.
That one's perfect. That one's it.
Welcome back.
Wait a minute.
To Budget Bits. To whatever episode this is, I forgot.
10
we didn't
of season 2.
10 of season 2.
Not a
Total,
clue.
it's like 45 or something.
40s.
Yeah.
If we're wrong, please say in
Listen.
the comments how stupid we
Yeah,
are.
or Nevbot 3000, please insert
me.
here.
We're on episode 43, Mortals.
And
Yeah,
put
fix
a
us.
little blippity blop
Help
over
us.
my mouth.
We're
whatever it is I
lost.
said. So hi, this is Budget Bits. We play games that are about $20 or less, and we'll kind of explain why I said about. But I am Justin. I didn't think of something to say. Justin, the best host, Birchfield. There you go.
And I am Dylan Leshibot 3000.
No one gets that yet.
Yeah,
That's
that just
fine.
doesn't make sense.
I
You
mean,
gotta say like
I said something. Now Tyler just introduced your name, like always.
What? Now you kind of introduced him already.
Oh,
True.
thanks. Spoiler.
I took
I'm
it.
here.
Took it from you. We're also here.
I'm here, I guess.
You're Tyler spoiled
Yeah.
Chambers.
Tyler, don't get my own introduction chambers. It's been taken from me. I have one thing in life, and it's gone now.
You've been
It's the only thing he looks
he's
forward
been
to
lo-
every
It really
single
was.
episode.
looking forward to it for
I
weeks
had
now.
something so witty
Yep.
and itty bitty, and I can't say it because it's been spoiled. Because they've already heard who's
That's
here.
okay.
That's all right.
Well, you got to tune in next week to figure out what Tyler was going to say. But anyways, this is Budget Bits. We play cheap-ish games, depending on your perspective on the situation. So we scour. Sometimes not too deep, sometimes way too
Endlessly.
deep.
Painfully.
Endlessly. Also not that far. But sometimes limitless, but also not that far either. For games that are around $20, even if they were on sale at some point, if they got to $20, about $20-ish or lower, we will play it, and we dedicate an entire episode to one game. This one today, drum roll, is Inscryption,
What?
which, like I said, it's not that deep because you've probably heard of that one. But hey, if you haven't and you're like, hey, this looks like a silly card game.
about that game.
Uh,
Tell me about that.
Well, we're gonna see. Tyler did a live rendition of what you just sounded like. You absolute.
I'm just
nerds
speaking for
out
the people
there.
who haven't heard of it. What I do.
Yeah.
And I am very
Um,
excited because I have been
Dylan.
trying to get these boys to play this game for
Calm down.
at least a year.
Tighten your belt just one more notch.
Too excited.
I'm so
Listen,
excited. I'm gonna reel it in
everyone-
for everyone.
Spoiler warning, he did not.
21 and up. You ready, guys? If you're 21 or under, grab some orange juice. 21 and up.
Grab a high
Every
seat.
time Dylan goes on a monologue, go for 1 minute. Talk about the game. Throw it back.
The
All right.
drink. The drink.
Now.
Throw the drink back.
Throw it back.
Oh,
throw it
yeah.
back.
No, not that. No,
Dude,
not
I'm
that.
about
Oh,
to-
God. Oh, your mom's probably watching you.
These
Oh,
people
this is
about to-
embarrassing now.
Mom don't need to walk in and hear that saying throw it back.
You
You
throwing it back.
better have some shots prepared.
So that's pretty much the gist of it. We're just going to talk about Inscryption.
Garrison, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
There is going to be a spoiler section. We're going to very clearly tell you when that is starting. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers, or if you've already played the game, then you know exactly where it's at. You can hear our opinions on it. And then we'll give you, Devinbot 3000 is going to give a little timestamp of when you can skip to skip all that. So, and this on YouTube, you could probably put some chapters in there so you can just skip right past
Yeah.
it. It'll be nice. If you're on podcast, anything else, well, I don't know, just skip past it to whatever he says. All right. So, before we get into that, we like to talk about what we've been playing. And I think the first one that you would talk about is Tyler, because he got his introduction robbed, so he
Thank
I'll go
you.
last. It'll be my penance. I get it.
So, I've not been playing anything different.
That is the most. But well, what were you playing last time?
Okay,
No one knows
right.
that.
Go back to the last episode. Listen.
What have
That's
you
how you-
stuck? What have you?
That's
what
what I was
okay? What
listening
have you stuck with the most since our last episode?
Tower of God on mobile.
Gotcha.
Because
Ew.
it's just addicting for me right now.
He's our he.
Wait, didn't you play
he's our
Monopoly Go?
Yeah, he talked about
I
Monopoly
played
Go.
it and dropped it once I found out there was no end goal.
It's a mobile game. There's almost never.
Well, did
an
you
end
think
goal.
you were gonna like win the Monopoly?
You think you were gonna be
I was
Monopoly
gonna
Man?
monopolize.
You're gonna become the Monopoly Man.
Yeah,
You're not
like,
past
you
go.
think you like, all right, well, here's the app, I guess. But yeah, you
Like,
won.
It's
Congratulations,
just
bud.
it was too repetitive. Too
Grindy?
repetitive. And it was
Oh,
a
yeah,
big
like-
pay to win game too.
Like all mobile games, huh?
Well,
that's crazy.
Except Tower
Popular
except for
mobile
yeah,
games.
okay.
Tower of God is
I
the
was
best.
say Tower
game
of God's a
ever.
good one because it's not a pay to win. You can just if
I've
you
never
just
played
play,
that,
you
no.
can eventually get the better units. You can obviously pay to get them faster, but I ain't about that. So
Word up.
I think yeah, I really don't think I've played anything else. That Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Oh, how's that?
still going good. Still enjoying it. Still hard as crap.
Do you think it is worth the price? Is it
It is
$40
$40.
or $30? It's $40.
40?
Do you think it's worth the $40 price tag?
Dude, that's a good question.
Because did you all play it on Game
yeah.
Pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it
Is it
worth
worth
the 40? I'm gonna say no. I would think this is
I
a
would-
good $20-$25 game. I would
Yeah.
price it the same as Dead by Daylight, maybe just a little higher because it is more it's got a little bit more to it. I like it better. But then again, I've been playing Dead by Daylight since it came out, so I may be a little bit biased.
I mean, it's fair enough.
But $40 I think is too much. That's the whole reason I even got Game Pass
Yeah.
is so I could try it out first. But I do really like it. But yeah, I think it's
mean-
too high for what it.
So what do you think? It needs just more content
Yeah, you got.
or just gameplay?
You can
tweaking?
only play as 4 survivors out of 5. So I mean, right now, that's not to say.
Oh wow.
That's not to say they won't add stuff later, which I'm sure they will. Same with killers. But I don't know. The maps need to be more maps, need to be more, like I said, victims and more killers. Yeah, just more. I think if it was like $20-$25 and then they added like a DLC package, kind of like Dead by Daylight does, which I think is like $5 to $10 every DLC that they do, depending on what you want. I think that would have been fair. So that way you get to pick and choose, like, oh, I want that character, so I'm going to spend $5 on it. So.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right then. Anything else you have to?
And I've been forced to play Inscryption. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Call
it.
it quits.
I've given
over.
you every out to not play an amazing game.
Listen, you know what? Yeah, let's cover our butts. You know what? Tyler has acted like we have just
Are we gonna
forced him to do. No, we're.
Are we
doing
gonna
it.
dunk on him?
We're
I got the.
No, we're not. No. We're not dunking on Tyler. We're protecting our.
I've already passed the ball to you.
We gave. Tyler was like, this game doesn't sound really good. I don't want to play it. And we were like, hey, if you don't want to play it, you don't have to play it. He said, no, I'm going to play it. I'm like, no, you don't have to play it. If it doesn't sound interesting, you don't have to play it. We'll pick something else. No, I already said I'm going to play it. Okay, we're just saying, if you don't want to play it, you're not forced to play it. I said I'm going to play it. So he played it, and then he comes on here, they forced me to play it. So,
All right.
that was a accurate artist rendition
And
of
I'm
what
sure that's exactly how it sounded in your head. But no, I want to be fair. Like, here's the thing. When I first played this game, it was months ago when Dylan told me about it. And then I only played it for an hour. So the whole reason for me even like being hesitant, well, I'll get into that later. But like the main reason I even said I was going to go back and play it again is because I only put an hour into it. I mean, you can't really judge a game off of an hour unless it's whatever garbage game Dylan posted that we all didn't like.
What?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Let's go on to the next thing. We're going into too many cans of worms.
I forgot what the game was.
All kinds of
Starting to
cans
stink
of
in here. Dylan, do you want to go next or me?
You go ahead, my man.
All right. Well, here's the thing. I've been basically only playing Inscryption as my game. So I just went on my Steam library. I'm going to pick 3 games that are my favorite games that I want you, the viewer, to know about.
Okay.
1, Rocket League. 2, Factorio. 3, Civilization 6. Boom.
There's a trend between those 3.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's the exact same game, just rehashed.
Most played hours.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
And there's Kerbal Space Program up there because I'm a little dork for space stuff.
You've always loved Kerbal.
I love the Kerbals. All right, that's it. That's all I have because I haven't played anything else besides Inscryption.
Well, I have been, besides what I'm still playing like Sea of Stars and Baldur's Gate. But I started a new game since we last. I've only put about 5-6 hours into it, but it's Lies of P, which is
I did not
the
know that
new.
was out yet.
It is out, and it's on Game Pass,
Of course.
since that's been brought up. But Lies of P
The
is
letter P,
about
yeah.
you. Yeah, it stands for Pinocchio. You play as like Geppetto's puppet, and it's like a Soulsborne game. So it's the aesthetic is closest to like that of like Bloodborne, but you play as a puppet. You get to choose between a strength build, a dexterity build, or a balance build. And of course, I went dexterity, and it turns you into the most like it's like Three Musketeers style, like fencing is like the style of swordplay, and it's really cool. It's the most similar to like Bloodborne, but with like toys. Like there's toy soldiers that come attack you. It's very much one of those like it doesn't seem like it's as hard as Bloodborne yet, but I'm also only 5 or 6 hours in, so I don't know. But I've been enjoying it. I got stumped at a boss, and I think it took me a good 10-15 tries to get past him, but really fun. I highly recommend it. Actually, it seems like it might be a little more approachable than like, you know, if you don't want to like really bash your head into like Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Sekiro, those kind of games. It's heavy on parrying. I do know that you need to know how to parry attacks and learn bosses like movements and their like patterns that they do and try to overcome that. It's really cool. It's a very, very neat take on the story of Pinocchio because it looks nothing like Pinocchio.
Not at all.
So no, you look human, but you have a mechanical arm that you use to like you. They do weapon. That is one thing I want to, because a lot of people hate this, like in video games, is like durability of weapons because they can break.
Yeah.
So your arm has a grinder in it, and once your like sword gets too dull, you have to grind it back up. Like you literally put your sword in your like forearm and grind it back to sharp.
What in
that's
the
cool.
world?
And yeah, and it's cool because like if the sharper it is, I think it does a little bit more damage as well. But if you let it go too far, you will break your sword. And honestly, I have no clue what to do if you do that. I haven't let it get that far, so I don't know. But that, and like if you parry so many times against like a boss or against like a minion or anything like that, like they'll you can actually break their weapons if you parry enough times, and they'll still be able to attack you, but it won't be nearly as successful. So think like someone attacking with a hammer, and you parry it enough, it'll break the hammer head off, and he'll just have a stick. So it's doing some really cool things, and I've been enjoying it. And when I've had some free time, I've been deciding if I want to play something intense like that or chill and play Sea of Stars. That's been my little go-to combination.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, all right then. Well,
Justin, what have you been playing?
now that we've
He's-
well, since I don't know, I will say what I've said already. And since Tyler doesn't listen to me clearly,
I'm just kidding.
I've been playing Knock 2,
Oh, there you
all
go.
right? Knock 2. Yeah,
There's the
one of my favorite games.
best game ever.
Oh, speaking of,
All right, no, we're going to...
actually, I
Whoa.
did play
Okay,
a new
what?
game. It was
Oh,
someone who posted in Is There Any Deal? Clonoa? I never knew how to say it. But it's
Yeah.
a platformer and like a side-scrolling platformer game. So they posted that there was like a deal on it, and I've been wanting to play it, try it out anyways. So I did play it, start it.
You like it so far? Because I've been playing the PlayStation 1 copy.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, it's not like a super challenging platform by any means, but it is fun.
No, but it's like got some like it's. I don't know if this is true, but like it's one of the very few of that era 3D platformers that I remember.
Mhm.
I don't remember that many of its time, you know, or especially 3D side-scrolling platforms.
Yeah, I
feel
don't, I don't know
gotta
when the
be
game
unique.
actually even came out. The one that I'm playing.
I know the first one came out. Like the first edition of it was PS1.
Yeah, so we're looking at early
Ballpark.
2000s.
Yeah,
I have no idea what y'all are talking about.
Yeah, it's a platformer.
don't worry about it. It's cool though.
I'm just a little goo gaga
Yeah,
baby.
you were just born.
Yeah, I was born 6 years ago, so that makes me like 9.
You be zooming.
By the way, the game I was thinking of that Dylan pitched was Dust and Elysian Tale.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Wow, now I'm just sad.
Hey, it was.
Yep. It was.
Let's not
definitely
go
a
back
game.
down. It's not. It's
was a
not
game.
been the worst game that has been
It was a
pitched.
game.
Let's put.
It was a game. It was a game. It was a game. It was a game.
Really?
Why?
Why? Did you run out of space?
Resolving error.
All right,
All right.
we back.
So we had technical difficulties. Somebody, and it's not me, and it's not Dylan, ran out of space on their drive
minute.
when recording. It could have been any of us, though.
I blame Nevin.
Get pranked.
It was.
And the last thing we got was Tyler talking about some stupid Dust game. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Inscryption now?
Yes, I'd love
Nah.
to.
Huh? Dylan? Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to. Tyler doesn't want to. Dylan!
Yes.
Everyone, get the shots ready.
Get ready.
All right, Dylan, let's go.
Timer starts
Every-
now.
Everyone gather around. Let's talk about
Everyone-
Inscryption. And I just want to,
Starting a 15-minute timer.
and we'll start off by just letting you know what kind of game this is, because it honestly, it's very difficult to describe this game. I would call it a deck builder horror puzzle
All right,
game.
running out of storage space. Come on.
That seems good. That's your
Puzzle?
problem.
Put a question mark on the puzzle.
Puzzle, yeah, there's definitely puzzles, so for sure. I would say deck builder horror puzzle game. I guess.
All right.
Right?
There you go.
It's very
Yeah.
I would call this game very unique. It's got but anyway, it's so yeah, you start off with Inscryption as a it's pretty much a deck builder. You gather cards. You have to sacrifice cards to increase the card's power, and you're playing with a guy named Leshy in a cabin, and you're trying your best to best him, and you don't really know if you're a prisoner here. You don't really know what's going on. It's very much a mystery type of game. You're trying to figure out, what am I doing here? What can I do to get out? But there's like a game board that you play at, and you can actually, like, in between rounds, stand up from the board. You can walk around and look at things and interact and, like, try to figure, like, it's one of those games that, like, you just don't know what's going on. And I don't know if there's a word or a name for that type of game.
Mysterious.
It's mysterious. It's like it's just like kind of like a, you don't know what's happening and you're trying to figure it out, and it's like a,
there's more going on. That meets the eye.
Exactly. Like, there's something, but you don't know what. And I find these games very intriguing because, like, it's just the amount of, like, effort and thought that are behind it is just so wild to me. But yeah, it's basically a card game, essentially, is the best way to describe it. And you get different cards, and you keep trying your best to best Leshy, and there's a lot of other things that can and will eventually happen, but it's hard to talk about the game and not spoil it. But the biggest thing about this game is, if you watch the trailer and you think it looks good, just play it. Don't look a thing up. Just play the game. Just play it and enjoy it how it's meant to be enjoyed, and that's just going in blind. And I guess the best, like, and there's just games like that you don't know what's happening, like Justin said, and it's just the figuring out and, like, slowly unraveling, like, the layers to the game to figure out, like, what's actually happening. And it's really cool. I think this was by far my favorite indie title I think I played it last year. And it's going to be one of my favorite indie games, I think.
Has it been a year?
A long time. Since I played it first?
I played it not long after you, didn't I?
Pretty long.
Oh, no.
I played it when it, like, close to when it first came out.
When did I play this last?
I don't know. But yeah, it was, I see what's great about it is the, like, going in blind. That's the best way to experience this game, like I was saying. And I found I think Epic was doing, like, some type of Epic deal, like, where you, a game over $15, you get this much off. And I was like, this looks cool. I'm just going to buy it. No one had played it. And I'm sitting here playing it. And I was actually, like, it was back when I think I just started working with Nevin, our editor. And he was like, what are you playing? And I was like, it's a game called Inscryption. And he's like, well, show me. And I, like, casted it and stuff. And he's like, this looks really cool. And this is, like, when I'm, like, first playing the game, and he ended up playing through it as well. And it was just a neat, like, just figuring crap out about this game. And it's just a really neat way to get into it. But when it comes to, like, the gameplay of the game, it very much is a pretty heavy deck builder. And it's also got, like, it's definitely got roguelike mechanics to it for sure.
I mean, through and through, it is a deck builder.
But through and through, it remains a deck builder for sure.
Yeah.
And it is, like, I love Slay the Spire. Like, that's one of my favorite deck builders, but this took a deck builder and made it into a horror mystery thing. to just like there's no game to compare it to almost, and it's just really really cool. But the gameplay is essentially a card game. Like you're placing down squirrels and sacrificing squirrels to place down wolves, and there's all kinds of different cards. There's cards that cost blood. There's cards that cost bones. There's just so much to it.
A lot more we can't talk about.
There is. There's like they include it's weird. The game starts so simple. They take such a simple thing and keep adding and adding and adding and then twisting and removing and then putting back, and it's just like hours would go by and I'm like, how long have I been playing? Where am I? What am I doing? But it's just, the game is really really cool. This was actually my second time beating it. I played through it again when you guys decided you wanted to play it for the podcast. So I was really excited to play it again, and I enjoyed it a second time. It was still just as good, and I even found other things I missed on my first playthrough. So it was really cool. But I will end it there.
Can you tell Dylan likes this game?
He's do.
He's gonna rate it like a 6.
Oh no, I don't even have to say. I don't really have to say it, but for the podcast, it's a 10 out of 10. But it was always gonna be a 10 out of 10. There's nothing like I liked this game enough to literally figure out the developer, which is Daniel Mullins Games, and play the other 2 games that he made too, which he's got they've been calling it like a Daniel Mullins verse, because it's like the games are connected. I'm not going to get into how they're connected.
Dylan, you got to calm down.
I'm not, but they're
getting into it.
Yeah, there's
everyone's already drunk now at this point.
True, but there's definite nods in each game to each other, and it's really cool. Definitely check out those games. They're Pony Island and The Hex. In that order was his release, and then Inscryption. Justin, how was your experience with it, my man?
It's my turn.
Yeah, go for it.
It was unexpected. So talk about the difficulty of it. It was, so you all are big smart boys. The audience, y'all are big smart.
Wow.
Yeah, not us. We dumb.
Or girls.
No, Tyler, we dumb.
Wow.
You guys are dumb, but the audience, they're smart. They know how we're talking. There's more to the game, clearly, beyond what you see in the trailer. Obviously, we're not going to talk about it for respecting spoilers. But I will say that the first part, that's all I'll say. The first part is, in my opinion, in the way that I played it, so hard to get past. Difficulty-wise, not gameplay-wise. It was a blast gameplay-wise. Difficulty-wise was so hard to get past compared to the rest of the game. It wasn't like brutally impossible. It felt like, I see where I went wrong and I can do better on the next one. But it was like, if I made the tiniest misplay, you were done. You were done. Like, there was no chance in it.
Yeah.
So it was very brutal, but you could also be like, okay, fair. I lost. But there were some times I was like, okay, I don't think it really would have mattered what I did. I think I was going to lose no matter what happened.
Hey.
But that's just how it happened. But the first part of the game, again, y'all are big boys. You know there's more going on. Is definitely the hardest. And beyond that, I felt like it got way easier. Way, way easier. It felt like it was more like, okay, now I'm just exploring the story mode at this point.
I think it might have been by design that way.
It may have been, and if it is, then okay, great. I experienced it exactly the way the developer wanted it to be. It just got a little bit frustrating because I knew there was something, and I knew if I just got to a point that I was gonna get to, figure out more. But I got so close and I never got to it. So it's just super frustrating when I just did a tiny misplay and it was like, bop, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
You have to start over.
One wrong card, man.
Yeah, I know. It was just silly. Not silly, but I hate myself. But whatever. It's like, who cares? Tyler,
Yo,
your turn.
I do want to say real quick. So, you two beat the game, correct?
What?
Correct.
What?
Okay. See, I just want to let the people know that I played the game and watched the rest of it unfold as a
'Cause he's a
YouTube
weenie.
video. So,
Weenie Hut General.
but something,
So Tyler's gonna give a gameplay and video
Yeah.
review. Of this.
but something I did see, on the YouTube side of things was like I watched like a speed run of it, and
Oh, I could imagine.
If
That's nuts.
the game actually penalizes you if you are able to advance what Justin was talking about. If you were able to advance too quickly.
Yes.
Oh,
I
really?
okay.
It punishes
I
you for
experienced. I experienced that my second run because I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. So,
and I progressed too fast.
Dylan, this is my time. It's my time.
I know.
So
You just reminded me of it.
um,
It was really funny.
So that's kind of transitioning into the uniqueness of this game. So a lot of games really don't do that, and that game's really cool in the sense that it did this. So I never experienced it because I was like, Justin, we sucked at the game, whatever. But what penalizes you is there's this card you get in the game, and it's got really good attack, really good health. It's called the Grizzly. I think it's the first, I'm gonna say, boss. If you get to him too quickly, then he will just throw out 8 grizzlies. And if you know you're bored, all you have is 4 squares on your side and 8 on your opponent's. And
So-
he will make it impassable and you're just faced with pretty much instant loss.
Certain death.
It's
okay. Cool.
okay. I will say it is beatable.
It is beatable because the speed
people
run
have done
does
it. Okay.
Yeah.
That happened to me my second playthrough, but it also happened to me on the second boss. It might happen at
It may
different
have been the
places.
second boss, I can't remember.
I don't know, but I was like, man, I'm really flying like through this time because
Yeah.
I remember like the pacing of
I
it.
remember the setups.
And yeah, I had like 2 of my best cards out. I was ready to go. And not only is it 8 bears, but they have the flying sigil. So they set out 8 flying bears with the flying sigil. Even if you have a card out, it will attack your hit points directly.
yeah.
And so it's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how people manage to get past that, but
Yeah, it's pretty neat how you do it. Go check it out after you play it, obviously. But yeah, I definitely suggest go check out the speedrun because it's pretty neat. He flies through it. It's cool.
yeah.
So overall, this game does have a lot of unique aspects to it, at least in my opinion. One, like I said, penalize you if you go too fast, which is really cool. I like that. 2, and let me know if I get into too much spoiler territory because I don't want to do that.
All right. We'll shout.
Yeah, just
really
say,
loud.
"Hey,
Don't
look,
get too loud. We'll go, ah!
2, it's unique because you're trying to get out of this room, I guess. And
Yeah.
as you're playing the card game, you can get up from the table that you're playing at any time, pretty much, which is really cool because, I mean, it's not just like you can do other things while you're just also playing this card game. And it gives you the freedom to choose, like, do you want to continue the card game or do you want to do something else? So that's cool. I don't know. I've not played another game where you can it lets you freely choose like that, like after every round. So obviously in the spoilers, we'll talk more about the more unique things because I don't want to dive too deep into it. But overall, I would say it's definitely stands out for me just because I've not played anything similar to this. Like I know Dylan has played Slay the Spire. I think Justin, maybe you have too.
I love Slay.
Okay, so apparently they're similar.
Well, they're both deck builders.
Definitely deck builders. I don't know if I'd call them similar.
Yeah.
I don't play. I can't think of another deck builder that I've played off the top of my head. So I don't have anything to compare it to. So for me, it's very unique.
Yeah. Even like as a deck builder, like it's unique in that realm as well. Because I don't know of another deck builder horror puzzle game.
Yeah, and it's not a roguelite, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's roguelike mechanics.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. But my experience with the game was, so like I said, I played it months ago, and only played it for a little bit, and then went back to it, replayed it, and like I said, I watched the rest of it. So a lot more unfolds than what I gave it credit for. I figured it was just a straightforward, this is your game. Definitely don't give up on it if you do play it.
Good advice.
Yeah. Which, okay. In all reality, Dylan, you were kind of... It was annoying because I was asking you questions, you were out, and you're like, I don't know.
I couldn't answer.
Maybe. And I was
I didn't want to spoil it, and you're sitting here.
Voice, you're like, maybe. I'm like, Dylan, you know my thoughts on
I
this
don't
game?
know. I don't know. You tell me
right now, unless you tell me. And you're like, maybe.
But
I'm like, okay.
It's like I know what you're asking, and I know you want the answer, but you don't want it this way.
But I did, because I wasn't going to continue to play this game. And
well, once I figured that out, I told you. You just had to threaten, like, I'm gonna stop playing this really, really good game.
I had to ask a very specific question, like, Dylan, just give me a straight answer. And you're like,
yep.
No, you actually did give me a straight answer.
I did.
You did, and I appreciate that. I was like, okay, so now I know what to, look forward to, instead of just like taking the game at face value from where it starts you.
You needed the hot dog on the string to chase.
Yeah, something like that. But that's all I'm going to say right now for this introduction to the game.
Gotcha. And as far as like the narrative goes, because we mentioned there's roguelike mechanics, and roguelikes are usually heavily known to not really have much narrative, but this game has a very involved narrative. That's honest. I'll talk about like the narrative at like face value, but there's just more to it. That's all I can say, and I don't want to spoil anything, because like we said, it's just a game you need to experience and go at it blind. But the narrative, like we said, you start off in a cabin. You're given cards, forced to play this game with.
No spoilers, Dylan.
And yeah, you're playing this simple card game, and like Tyler said, you can get up and interact with things around the room, and those type of things may lead to other things. So there's like an explorative, like puzzle aspect in the same light as a deck builder, like in the same room.
I want to interrupt you real quick.
What's that?
You don't actually know what he looks like, correct? In the beginning, isn't it just his eyes that you see?
Not for a very long time.
Right.
Okay.
Nevin can
very end of the.
Then Nevin can bleep that out.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's kind of a spoiler for like what to expect him to look like.
Yeah, that's like when you see him as. Yeah. Don't say more.
Yeah. Feel free to bleep that out, Nev.
Oh, there you go. Dylan's already spoiled it. Classic.
Dang it! I tried so hard.
Did you even look at the last bullet point?
No.
Yeah. No spoilers.
No, Ed doesn't. It says
he edited it.
Oh.
All right, go on.
That was pretty much like I said. The narrative is something you need to experience for yourself it's not something I would want to really delve into. We might delve into it a little bit in the spoiler section.
Mm-hmm.
How about that's the first thing we'll delve into in the spoiler section?
Sure.
And that at
You can
some
look
point
forward to
during
it.
that, if you're like, okay, this sounds interesting, just cut it off right there. And then
Yeah, and especially if this game sounds interesting to you at this point, then definitely just avoid our spoiler section completely. Just go play it. It's a great game.
If you like a good surprise, this is
don't
it.
Yeah, and
ask
especially
Dylan.
and right now being around spooky season, this is perfect.
Yeah, don't DM Dylan on the Discord because he'll be like, I don't know. Maybe you might
don't.
like it.
I'll start responding in hieroglyphics and stuff.
It's like, it's like, do they sell Inscryption on Steam?
I
don't know.
No.
Go look it up.
Don't look it up. It's part of the game.
Is it on sale on isthereanydeal.com? I don't know.
All right. We never did say the price of this game.
$20.
$20.
Is it $20? Okay.
Yeah, I think MSRP is $20. It does go on sale.
It does.
Because like I said, that's how I found it. I used like an Epic coupon or something. I don't think maybe it wasn't on sale now that I think about it.
Yeah. $20 game, historical low is 10. So
there you go.
And how'd you figure that
How
out?
did you figure that out?
good website. Isthereanydeal.com.
Yes, please.
Golf
We
clap. Golf clap.
We love them. Yeah, we're golf clapping.
Yeah.
Might not pick up on the audio, but we're doing it. Yeah, we use them all the time. We're good friends with them. Chit-chatted with basically a person who runs the website. And yeah, we just really appreciate them. And they help our cause of finding cheap games. And they make the cheap games that we already like even cheaper.
Yes, we have the
So it's
common
very nice.
goal.
If you see a little heart next to the store, it supports them. So please use that link when you go to buy your games.
For sure.
If you want to set an alert, you can click the little green clock on there. It says wait for a better price. You put your email in there, boopity boopity, say exactly what you're waiting for, and boom, it'll shoot you a message.
Nice.
It's very awesome. So that's our little spiel. We're not sponsored by them, but we are good friends. That's all we'll say.
Yes.
helping one another.
All right, so that was a little late to talk about the pricing and stuff, but hey.
It was, but hey,
If you waited here long enough, you figured it out.
and we said our target was around 20. So it had to be
You knew what
in
it
the
was.
ballpark,
You knew
right?
what you were expecting.
Yeah.
The art style for the game. So, yet again, this is just another one of those things. So, obviously, from what you see in all the screenshots, everything you know about the game, if you have never played it, is the, I guess, gritty, uncomfortable look, dark,
unsettling.
horror, scary, unsettling
Yeah.
atmosphere it had with everything. But obviously, as the game progresses, and this is all I will say, is it has just drastically different art styles throughout that are all phenomenal. Again, all I can really say about it. Again, and you know what? I'm just begging you at this point. If you like getting surprised by a game, go play it. Stop what you're doing. Except for this. If you're listening to this, keep listening.
Yeah.
Skip the spoiler section. But stop playing your game. Go play this game. Okay. That's all I can really say about this.
Oh, what did you guys? I mean, we knew what I was gonna rate it, but what was your guys' ratings?
Oh, it's rough. I'll say 10.
Nice.
Dang. I'm going to say a
A.
Plus.
I'm gonna say a 7 for me.
Wow, really? That low?
That low.
I mean, you decided to watch it instead of play it, so I knew it wasn't going to be a 10 because that would just
Right.
wouldn't make sense.
Well,
to me anyway.
all right.
But I get this.
I didn't know after watching it, you'd be like, oh, wow, this is a lot more interesting than I thought it was
Okay,
going to
so
be.
here's the thing. The game surprised me. Yes. My rating is a 7 because 1, the replay value isn't there for me. 2, for me, took way too long to get into. Like, I know it grabbed you all from the start. For me, it was just took too long.
I could see that, because if you did not like the first part of this game, you're never going to get to the real part of the game.
And that's why, yeah, it took for me a while to get into it and to actually even go back and play it, is because after playing it even just for that hour months ago, I didn't like, oh man, I gotta go play this game. I wish there was I wish it almost hinted at what the game had to offer earlier on. So
Yeah, but it can't do that.
it could have done something. I mean,
It definitely can.
It had little things that make you be like, ooh, what's this gonna do? Ooh, what's that for? But it wasn't enough for me. Now, I will say, for the listeners, if you have this feeling of playing it through after listening to this episode, take my advice, keep playing it. It might feel kind of lackluster, but it is definitely worth it when you figure out more of the game.
I will say, in my experience, in my first playthrough of it, which, Dylan, you probably don't even remember your first playthrough and how long it took you.
I know, I'm ancient.
It took me 5 hours.
Yeah, I don't know how long.
To get into
the
game.
See, that was another question that you were asking, like, how long, like, am I you were like,
it took you to beat it. I was like, am I just supposed to keep losing until something happens?
Yeah.
And then I sent that angry Discord message, and the very next run I went on, I freaking did it, and I was like, oh, I was just stupid.
Yeah.
See that when Justin sent that message saying it took him around 5 hours, that immediately turned me off. I'm like, no game should take you 5 hours to get into.
But I enjoyed
it's different for everybody, obviously. But
yeah, I was gonna say there's a difference between, like, if you're getting through it and you're not enjoying the 5 hours, then no, you're not gonna like it. I was gripped from this game from the beginning and thought it was. I liked what I saw at face value. When I realized that there was more and there was like, I was hooked.
Okay. I do want to hit on some more points, but like I said, I'll save that for spoilers. Unless we just want to jump into it now.
I think we've all talked quite a bit enough about it.
Yeah.
Do we want to just jump into spoilers?
Sure. Let's kind of, I guess,
all
let's
right,
flag Nevin to throw in something crazy.
Beep boop, beep boop. Nevin, do something here. I don't know.
Yeah, big warning.
Hey, all you cool cats still listening. It's spoiler time. If you haven't played this game, get out of here and play it before you listen. It's a really good game.
Yep. All right. Dylan, take us away.
Spoilers. Okay. Man, I don't even, I don't know where to even start. It's hard to, like, that review that we just did is just so difficult to even talk about this game without spoiling. Because there's...
All right, well, maybe we start with the narrative first, so if people wanted to figure out what it's about.
So the narrative.
Yeah.
So you start out, and you are in a cabin. We've already been through that. You're trying to get out. You're doing everything you can, looking for clues. You're doing all kinds of crazy stuff to find, like, answers to riddles, and there's a slide puzzle thing. There's all kinds of stuff that you can get your hands on. I'm not going to go into all the puzzles because there's just so many of them. But eventually, you will best your adversary, who is Leshy, who is he's known as, like, the scribe of the beast, and you end up beating him, but you have to beat him and have an empty, like, roll of film with you. And when you have that, and you have these, they're scribes. I'm not gonna necessarily go into what each one is and everything, but there's cards that are talking to you, that are helping you along the way and giving you hints and dropping ideas. And they eventually lead you to this empty roll of film that they want you to grab the camera before he takes your death card, which usually when you lose, Leshy will take a picture of you and you will make your own death card with other cards that were in your deck. And
Can I just say too, I was getting so fed up with the death cards that I was just typing in cries for help.
I mean, yeah, that's the beauty of it. You can type in whatever you want.
Saying screw you, this sucks, I hate you. And
see, I agree because after so many runs that you just lose, I was literally just typing one letters because I was like, okay, this is a little too excessive. That's one of the flaws in this game for me as well. That's why I didn't mention it earlier, but like that's one thing I didn't like about this game. It was just like, here's a new death card, and I get it. Because
I loved how eerie it was, man.
I get it because like each run you're supposed to be like a new captive in the cabin. That's what it was like representing. So you're using past participants, I guess, captives. I don't know. So like you're a whole new like person every single run. So I get what they were doing with the death cards, but yes, it got really old really quick.
And in my playthrough, it literally never affected a single run I had.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Never.
Dude, some of my death cards were my best
never
cards.
Showed up. They never showed up.
Okay, you know when I saw the death cards? When I was versing Leshy, and he's like, he poured out like 4 of them, and he's like, I'm going to keep the rest, whatever you don't choose. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So this is the first time I'm seeing them. Why the heck did I even do? Like, it's just, yeah.
That's weird because because they add up. Like as you play and fail, like they'll be like, if you've done 8 runs, there's 8 death cards, so you have a higher probability of pulling them.
Yeah, the run I had, I had 0 death cards.
That's crazy. But there's, oh god, like there's just no way to like talk about all the spoilers. But there is a very unique reason why you can type in things in those cards.
Yeah.
And that is like this game goes down a rabbit hole and just anyway, we'll get to that. But you eventually make it out of the cabin is all you need to know. And you literally are in just a black room. And from the beginning of this game, if you all noticed, you can't start a new game. You can only continue.
Yep.
And there's a very specific reason for that. Because you're not technically playing the correct version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you unlock the new one, and it starts you in a whole new area. And that's just a taste of how the narrative like just completely flips and changes. But then you unlock the new game card, and you can actually start a new game. And when you start a new game, you realize it's a completely different game than what you were playing, and it's more like 8-bit style. And it's you've got a little like overworld map where you're like traveling, and you see a familiar face, which is Leshy. But there's 3 other entities that are in this game that are seem like they're all trying to battle for power. And eventually I won't go any far past that because I think that's a good taste of like the narrative and how like the gameplay just completely flips on its head at a certain point. And to me, that's the point that if you can get to, that's when you're hooked. That's when if you didn't know that was a thing and you got to it and you're like, okay. Because then once you do this, you unlock it's like a video camcorder thing that like has videos on it that you're like, what is this? And you're just watching these videos of like they look like little save videos, like little thumbnails. And it's about the Lucky Carter, who is in the game a like YouTuber who opens packs of cards. And eventually like you watch all of his, man, there's just so much narrative to this game. I want
to say like when it did that whole video sequence of the Lucky Carter, it gave me strong Marble Hornet vibes, and I don't know if y'all watched that, but it's a Marble Hornets.
Oh no, I don't know what that is.
It's like I want to say like 20 to 40 videos. It's been a while since I watched it, but it's a fan made shout out to Slender Man.
No, I watched this with you.
Yes. And I got strong Marble Hornet vibes from that. I was like, dude, this is so cool.
It legit is. Like, it was like little episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely that feeling.
Yeah, it was neat.
But yeah, and there's videos you can watch. There's like missing videos. There's all kinds of clues to other things. This game just like, and even when you play it all the way through, once you've beat it, there's still so much more that's behind the scenes that's like not even shown, because there's all kinds of stuff that you can get into. I don't even know where to start.
You don't.
You're gonna get
deep.
It's gonna go too deep.
No, you gotta stop, Dylan.
Let's transition. What was your all's favorite like puzzle in the cabin / I guess reward? So like you could use the thing where you pull your tooth out to gain 1 advantage point, things like that. What was your all's favorite?
Are you saying favorite puzzle or favorite
item?
item?
Yeah, like item.
Oh, I know mine.
Yeah, let's do favorite item and then puzzle in the cabin.
Okay.
Item was the knife.
Yeah.
With the eye.
That's just hilarious.
Yeah. You use your own.
I mean, once you realize what's happening, it's like, oh my god.
That's what's great is it won't tell you what it is
hysterical. Yeah.
until you.
Or the pliers when you freaking rip your tooth out, and you're putting the golden tooth in there. Like, all right, I guess I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because the whole point is to like weigh down the scale on your side to win the round, and you're over here stabbing your own eye out to put your eye, like your own body parts on the thing, and.
But it's also part of the freaking puzzle to even unlock the thing, which is neat.
Which
what else? Everybody else's, huh?
Dylan.
I mean that puzzle. Since we're already talking about that scene, if you pick the correct eye, like you pick the cipher eye, that makes you be able to see like hidden writing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was a moment that I'm like, okay, this game is doing some stuff. Like
it's getting kooky.
That one, my favorite item. Are we counting like the totems? Because totems change that game completely, man.
Yeah. Anything.
If you can get the right totem, man, you can fly through the first part.
Yeah.
If you get like you can get squirrel that makes them have 3 bloods.
Worthy sacrifice is the only thing that made me win that game.
That's
probably the best totem.
I literally won because of that totem.
Mm-hmm. It's a great totem. There's other really good combinations and wacky stuff you can do, but like getting that much like sacrifice to be able to put higher cards on the game board, that's the way to really win fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you got to figure that stuff out, and that's like to me that's like the most fun part. And but yeah, I'd say the cipher eye, and my favorite item was, especially starting out, would be like the honestly the hook. I like the hook.
Yeah, hook was cool.
Swinging his cards over.
Yeah, and you get to steal a card. Pretty neat.
For me, I'm gonna say, just because it saved my butt quite a few times, was the fan. So it makes your cards go flight mode.
Yeah, it pretty much
put me out of
kind
a
of
pickle.
gives
like
the sigil. The sigils are neat.
Yeah.
Too.
So like
because
I was on the fisherman fight, and the run, it was just about dead, but I had a fan, and I used it, and I was able to go over his, because I hate when he like puts out his shark cards. So
the shark bait.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
I was able to flight over with like a 3 and a 2 attack, and then I ended up winning. It was literally down to if I had a fan or not. If I didn't, the run was over. If I did, I was gonna beat the round, and I like that about that. So if you have the right item, plus the scissors are a godsend. That was such a cheat code.
Scissors are pretty great.
It's just like-
even having the pocket. What is it? The goat, the sacrificial goat.
Yeah, the 3 bloods for
Yeah.
that.
Especially like starting out, that can help.
Yeah.
But I also want to touch on like, I think like where I said how much I loved like the first part, that could very well be like the part that I like about roguelikes. And I like roguelikes so much that's partially like, and I already like Slay the Spire and stuff like that. So this just kind of meshed all that together, and I was like, okay, I love this. Let's keep playing.
Yeah. All right, favorite puzzle.
Favorite
Yeah,
puzzle.
in the cabin. They weren't granted like too intricate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
the
Let me ask you this. There was what was it? Like a mace and an axe on the wall?
yep.
Are you ever able to access those?
Yep.
Do you evidently you don't need to.
You don't you don't have to do a lot in the puzzle room. There's certain things that are kind of required, but I would be curious to like what you could get away with not doing.
Like the only thing that
Like-
really
like if you-
required was the clock, right?
I mean, yeah,
That's the only
because that has
requirement?
that has the empty film.
Yeah. And it has so okay, do you need to get every scribe fused card? Or does it
Yes.
it automatically gives you all of them? Like
See, that's the thing. I don't even playing twice. I don't fully, completely know because
Like, I'm just wondering if you only got the stag or whatever it is.
I think it's gonna try to force you to get. And no, it's a stoat.
Stoat, yeah.
If I think it's gonna force you to try to get, all 3 of the scribes.
Okay.
Because you're not technically able to escape without the wolf, and that's the last one you get.
Yeah.
Because even the stoat will tell you like we need him. Unfortunately, we need him and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And I think he's the one that gives you like a hint towards like how to get the cuckoo clock open.
Yeah.
But the cuckoo clock was fun. I like the slider puzzles. I thought those were neat. It took me a while to figure out how the heck to do them. But once I did, I was like, okay, I get it. This is cool.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with that one. That was the one that actually took a lot of thinking.
It did.
The other ones were just like, oh, found the clue. Okay, now I know it's all.
Mine,
Yeah.
which I didn't figure out at first. The one I liked the most was Uncage the Wolf. So you had to actually play
getting him
you had to
actually hit.
play around with a caged wolf, get it to break out, and then go like get up from your seat from the table, go get the wolf totem and put it with the
Yeah.
swirl to release the knife. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool puzzle. Like every time I would like lose a run and it'd go to the what do you call it? The ghillie suit scribe dude. When it would go to him painting on a canvas, and it would show me
Yeah.
the squirrel with a knife. I'm like, yes, I know, I see that. What do I do with that? So I was like, that was cool.
Magnificus. But I think the hardest puzzle, it's not really I don't know if it's a puzzle, but it's the picture frame that shows you like different, like it's different every run. There's like,
I never got
you
the
have
cards I
to-
needed.
it's tough. I did it like once or twice. I don't know that might, I might not have done it enough times to really unlock that secret. There might be more to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. This game like has so much secrets behind it and like behind the code of the game, to where like it took an entire Discord community and Reddit community to come together to like fully figure out and complete this game, like top to bottom. Like not like actually just beat the game. I mean dig deep. But there's all kinds of messages that you have to like build a cipher for. You can open a terminal command within the game where you type crap in and it spits it back out. And like, well, there's a thing you can do that it'll literally read you a thing in Polish, and you have to like get it translated to English to figure out what's actually going on. And Justin, how far did you get into the rabbit hole of this game?
So once I beat the game, I got the code that everyone sees in the recordings area.
Right, on the napkin. Yeah.
I wrote that down, and I was like, "Sweet, I'm gonna figure out what to do with that later."
Yeah.
Absolutely not. After I looked up what you had to do,
it's a lot, dude.
I just followed the Google Doc and just literally followed every single thing that they did to figure out the puzzle. And I was like, good Lord have mercy. I am never, ever doing this. This is
there was some
straight up detective work going on, and I'm not doing it.
There was some.
I did all of it and did all the decoding and found the hidden ending and everything, and the little hidden website it had.
Yeah, so that...
And the YouTube video and all that jazz.
Okay, so you eventually... Yeah, you'll get to that website. And so the first people that made it to that website and like entered their information and stuff, it pretty much says, okay, expect a floppy disk in the mail.
Yeah, that was the final clue.
And yeah, they sent out 3 floppy disks to different users that made it to that section first, and all with different a different type of thing that like requires some type of cipher. And this is all like found within the code that you have to go through and figure out what it's referencing. There's stuff in the game. Like there's so much, dude. It eventually leads to like it being once you get towards the end game, you'll start hearing like the words old data come up a lot. And eventually they figure out like within the code of the game, old data is referencing the Kernofel code, which dates back to which I think is I don't think it's like a real thing, but it's not, there wasn't like cards there, but there was like some type of code that like apparently Hitler had that he could like wipe out like 2/3 of Europe.
Yeah, there was something to do with Hitler.
Right. So, but in the game, like what they're saying is the old data, the Kernofel code was 4 cards from the Kernofel deck, which is a German card game. And if you remember the Douse card, it looks like a rat. It's actually supposed to be a feral pig, apparently. And like this is how I just want to give this one example to show how like cryptic this was. If you watch one of the videos of the Lucky Carter in the game, it on his desktop you'll see like he has 4 post-it notes. It says pig 3K pig. It has like a face of a pig. So people figured out that the code for that like particular thing was the Douse card, like was the pig, because they figured out that was a pig in the Kernofel deck. And then the 3 was something, and then the K was the king card of that deck. And that references the Rat King card in the game. And if you played those 4 cards in the game in that particular order, it'll spell out the word stop on all the cards. So and then we'll flash another like code that it's just such a rabbit hole. It leads to so many other things, and so like people got invested in this thing, but there's people that actually went to the coordinates where like the floppy disk was buried. It's one big giant rabbit hole, and I could talk for a long time about it, but I know. I know. It's I keep saying one thing and it leads to another, but that's how the game is. Like you find out one little like code, and then it leads to something else. It leads to something else, and it's just a trickling effect, man. But yeah, I don't think I've seen plenty of wall breaking games, but not like this. And I am not like, I do want to mention like the Hex and Pony Island. Those were his first 2 games. And they all, it is like a Daniel Mullins verse. Like they are all connected. The first card you find that's a death card is, his name's Reginald. That's a character from the Hex. Like, and it basically all kind of ties together to one overarching story. And it's kind of wild, like figuring each out and playing through each one. But I had fun with it. I do. If you enjoy this type of game, definitely play the Hex and Pony Island. They're fun. He's supposedly working on another game. That's like the rumor, because he tends to release a game every like 2 years or so, and so hopefully we'll see something or see some news.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else in the spoiler section?
It's too much, so no. There's too much to talk about.
I know.
Yeah, just know that it goes very deep. Very, very deep.
Yes, it does. All right. So there's a spoiler stop time for Nevbot.
Spoilers are over.
All right. So a question that we're gonna pose real quick. This is gonna be a lot quicker and a lot
Yeah, for sure.
Easier to answer. Short answer, and you can just talk about a little bit about what it was. But the question for this episode was, what was your favorite fourth wall breaking moment in a game? And it could be this one. Nothing stopping you.
I don't want to say this one because my answer is this one, but
Wow.
well, I'm saying it definitely is. I love that this is, but my
Okay, moment. What moment?
well, no, I want to say a different game, and it's a game we all played, which was One Shot.
Dang it, you sucker! That's fine.
Dang.
I'm just gonna share it with you, so go ahead.
Well,
That's my answer too. No, it's my answer too. No, it's worth it. Nope, it is worth it. That's my answer too.
okay.
I'm not changing it for anything.
Well, what's your favorite wall breaking moment of One Shot? Because mine is like kind of a big spoiler, and I don't know if I want to.
Oh, no, it's the end of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but well, did you
Don't
do the thing, though?
say anything about it.
I can't say anything.
I do know.
So
No.
So okay, we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do this.
No, I'm not
there's game code?
I'm not talking about the end of the game. I'm talking about like man, dang it. Why this whole episode is filled with spoilers.
He
Okay,
just said,
well, I'm just
just
gonna
said one shot.
describe what happened. right.
Yeah, One Shot. That's what it's
One Shot is this game. You're following this character named
Nico.
Nico. There you go. Yeah, nailed that one. And you basically got to take care of her, and she looks at you. This is just completely fourth wall breaking. The game. She looks at you like the player as the god of her. And it gets you so emotionally invested into the game that it poses a single. It's essentially a yes or no question. Is all it poses to you.
the toughest question,
And
though.
I stared at this screen for like 10 minutes because I could not pick.
You gotta pace around the room a little bit.
Dude, I did. I had to like walk away from the computer. The game is One Shot. You have to play it, but that is absolutely my most favorite fourth wall breaking because I was just like emotionally stunned. Like I don't know what to pick. Like it felt like I was actually affecting someone's actual life. But it was just freaking Nico, and I love Nico, and I will cherish her forever.
See, I love that part, but my favorite part would be like even after that. And that's
it's fine after that. You definitely can't talk about that.
that's what I mean.
So,
Yeah, and I think what even makes it even crazier is like just how simple that game looks, but it does so much more, and like
it does so much more. It's a stinker.
I think
of a
that's
game.
the genre of this episode is just games that like you think are one thing and then just completely like just turn the tables on you and are like, nah, bro,
This ain't it.
this ain't it.
This ain't it, Chief.
Yep.
All right, Tyler. What's yours?
Mine is also one shot. There's just
It's such a good one,
there's
isn't it?
literally nothing like that game on fourth wall breaking that I have played, or that would probably even come close.
All right, I guess we're recommending 2 games: is
Yeah.
Inscryption and One Shot.
Yeah.
Funny thing about One
think-
Shot 2 was also for me, it was kind of slow getting into. But that is one game that I stuck with, and I'm so glad I did.
Yes.
So
good
just like One
gracious
Shot
me.
and Inscryption, stick with it.
Yeah.
Stick with it. It's worth it.
Yeah, and
All right.
every fourth wall breaking moment I can think of, like I still think One Shot and like Inscryption are my favorite, but every one I can think of is a spoiler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like they're all spoilers.
I already feel like I know where Dylan's leading on this one, but who do you think did fourth wall breaking better? One Shot or Inscryption? Because my vote is definitely One Shot.
One Shot for me.
Who did fourth wall breaking, or are we talking like just
Fourth wall breaking better?
See, no, I'm gonna say Inscryption.
I knew you would. You got a hard on for this game.
Dude,
It's all right.
Yeah.
No, it's whatever. Your opinion's wrong, but it's great. All right. So that's all we have because I just looked at the recording time we have on this, and good God, it's gonna be a beefy one.
Sorry guys.
My bad.
This is Tyler would
Yep.
shut up.
Yeah, you talked way too much.
I'm trying to cut out some dialogue on my end.
This is been Budget Bits episode redacted. I don't know.
Yeah,
Haven't
who knows?
edit that in again. Visit us at our website. It's such a lovely URL. It's www.budgetbitspodcast.com. You can find all our socials there. You can find the Hall of Fame, which Inscryption is definitely going to find its way into the Hall of Fame. And you can look at the Hall of Shame. It's a short list of
It's 3, and hopefully it
games that
stays at 3.
just You do not want to touch with a 10-foot pole. Maybe make it 11-foot pole because they are
Bad.
to you. But there's a long list of Hall of Famers. We stand behind. We recommend. Not all of us stand behind all of them. I think Dust is in there. And is it in there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, thank goodness. Then I stand behind all of them.
No, because if we all don't like a game, it doesn't make it there.
Slormancer
Yeah.
though, that better be
Well,
in there.
No.
Sorry, Slormancer's definitely in there. Yeah, Slormancer's in the stinky category. Sorry, Slormancer.
Yeah.
That is all we have. I love you. Kisses. Mwah.
Mwah.
Wow.